Hello to all of you. I'm coming again with another story. As you can see in the background, it has LAPD. The Los Angeles Police Department has been corrupt by one of their own. A 10-year veteran facing 30 years to life in prison for rape of multiple rape charges. It broke a cold case when the DNA was put into the system, the DNA index system. It got a cold case hit, and the hit was from 2015, where a woman reported that she was raped by the police officer named William Rodriquez. Also, another woman, which was an acquaintance of his, went to his home and he raped her by force there. So when this woman reported it to the police department, they actually had the DNA, but they wasn't able to trace it until just now when they put that DNA into when the other lady, I guess, reported it. They put his DNA into the system, and that's when they got that hit. And it was the same similar situation where he was forcing these women into rape. A lot of these officers have done that. I mean, it's sad because they feel that they're wearing the badge and they can do what the hell they want to, and they intimidate people with their weapons. They're not hired to go around and rape people, shoot people, kill people, hurt people. They have a job just like you and I, and they should be professional like we are on our jobs. It doesn't matter if you're wearing a badge or not. And so he has taunted their department, and they're very upset about that because if you're going to wear a badge and you're sworn to protect and serve, and you're going to tarnish the badge, the police chief said it was just, when they entered that DNA into the FBI's DNA index system, they got that cold case hit, and it was him, William Rodriguez, one of their very own. Oftentimes, I see them on the streets just talking to hookers and stuff. A lot of times, you remember the case, I don't know if you remember this case, but it was on YouTube, and I kind of looked at the entire story where this was a young, handsome police officer, and he was raping African American, underprivileged women. Women that was on the projects, women that was on drugs, women that didn't have no teeth in their mouth, no hair on their head. He just didn't give a damn. He was just raping black women like they were dogs. And they got him. They got him. And his girlfriend, they even called her because he had lied and said, oh, my girlfriend, I was with her. So when they called the girlfriend, guess what? The girlfriend says, oh, no, he didn't sleep with me that night. He did not sleep with me. I mean, who do they think they are? They're only human just like we are. And so how are we going to be protected out here if the police are doing what the criminals are doing? This has been going on a long, long time, and so now they are getting busted for all of this wrong that they have done. You know how many people they've killed? You know how many women they've raped? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Hiding behind the badge to do such a crime like this. That is so horrific. So I am so happy they have this police officer off the streets. Now they need to check and see if he killed anybody. And there may be other people that was afraid to come forward because a lot of times people, they don't want to turn them in because they feel like, oh, he's a police officer. He's going to get me. If he see me later, he could have me set up. He could have me killed. So a lot of times these police officers are hurting people and they're afraid to talk. I have a real live story here where a friend of mine was on the road driving. You know how road rage is, and he was driving like maybe about 40 in a 35-mile zone, and there was a man in a truck, and the man told him to roll your window down. So he rolled his window down, and he go, you better slow down. And he said the man was yelling at him, so he was wondering, like, who in the hell are you to be telling me, you're not in a police badge or no, you're not an officer. Why are you going to tell me to slow down? I'm only doing. And so he said he gave the man the finger. When he gave the man the finger, he sped on off and went on his way. But guess what? 3 weeks later, he went home and there was a police car parked in front of his house. And guess what, you guys? It was a police officer. That same one that was in a plane, car, or truck on the road with him that did the road rage thing. It was that police officer. He was sitting at his house and the neighbors told him, we noticed we saw the police officer's car sitting in front of your house, but we had no idea why. When he drove up, you know how scared that man was? He didn't know if that police officer was going to shoot him or what. So he just ran on in his house. He didn't even go to his mailbox to get his mail. And he said he looked at him and the man looked at him like, you nigga, I'm going to kill you. He said the man just looked like a racist. His eyes were sticking out of his head like he was the devil himself wearing a badge. And I said, well, did you turn it in? Did you turn it in? He said, I was so afraid. He said, if I would have went to his car to ask him anything, he would have shot me right there. And I was like, oh my God, you mean to tell me it was a police officer? So when he went to report it, he did not have the badge. So when anything like that happens, you have to have that badge number. But because he was afraid to walk to the car, the man looked so evil. And this was a man that ran his license plates and went to his home, you guys, 3 weeks later. So now this man knows where he stays. He can go at his home anytime. And he put that fear in him. So when he went to report it, they said, you should have gotten that badge number. Because there is no way that we could really arrest him or anything because we don't have the badge number, because he was not supposed to come to your house. And actually, he wasn't supposed to be road raging you on the road either. He was out of uniform, so therefore, my friend, he didn't know that the man was a police officer. And so a few weeks later, there was a something happening, a road rage on the highway in Houston. And a young, beautiful young girl, beautiful, either she was in her late teens or early 20s, got shot by a police officer. And he had his girlfriend in the car with him. I don't know if you guys heard that story. And he told his girlfriend to lean back, and he shot that young girl, but she made it. So they arrested him. And from the description, the way my friend described the way that man looked, blondish type, Caucasian guy, it could have been that same person. It's a lot of bad cops on the road, and they're going to have to clean it up. So, but they are getting them now. They are getting them, and they're really arresting the cops now, letting them feel what they've done to people. And many of them, like, remember in Houston, I think it was not long ago, where in this case, it was an African-American cop that set up a bad deal bust and went into these Caucasian people home, young people, and just shot up the house. Because the people were wondering, what the hell are they knocking on my door for? We haven't done nothing wrong. Those people blasted up that house and killed those 2 people because of that bad police officer. That bad police officer set up a sting, you guys, that was illegal. And 2 innocent Caucasian young people were killed by gunfire. And I think their dog was killed also. Because, of course, if someone's going to come to your house shooting, you're going to shoot back because you know you didn't do anything wrong. It's bad out here. And it has to stop. What do you guys think about all the bad cops? They make it bad for the good cops. You know? If the cops were nice, you know what? Everybody would be nice on the road to them. Even the gangsters would love them if they would be nice. But some of them just pull out a gun and start shooting like mad. Like mad. Some of them, and you know who else can be crazy? Security guards, the wannabe cops. There are a lot of wannabes because there was a wannabe on the news. I don't know if you guys heard of that. It was a wannabe cop, and the real cop went into, it was some facility he went into, and the security guard said, you can't come in here with no gun. And so the guy says, well, I can't disarm because, he didn't even care about the man being a police officer. He was a security guard now. So he got off on just pulling his gun out on a cop, a real cop. See what I'm saying? This world is twisted. This was a wannabe cop who stopped the real police officer from coming into a facility with a weapon because he wanted to pull his weapon out. He made the man leave. He put the gun up. He actually, the security guy actually pulled the gun on the police officer and made him leave the building. How crazy is that? So see, that's a sicko that may get on the police force that we don't need. It's a lot of sickos and wannabes, and then they end up landing a job because it's so much needed in the police department. So sometimes they screen people, but they can miss a lot of stuff. So you guys, let me go right now. I'm gonna have to go, but I wanted to bring this story to you, and I wanted to get your opinion on this. What do you think about all these bad cops? Have any of you had any experience with them? I know they push their badge on you and they feel like they have so much power. But you know what? All that power that they have, it's coming back to bite the bad cops in the butt. All the bad cops are being pulled. They're being checked. And it's about time. So I'm happy that these police chiefs now are checking into all of these bad cops and really retraining them on how to treat people. Because people are people. They wouldn't want anyone to do what they do, going around killing all these black people. They wouldn't want no one to go around and kill their people. You know, people are people. When God made man, he made all men be the way he wanted them to be, and not for the cops to go around and just shoot them down like dogs for no reason. Or they're not, they're fake like, well, I didn't know I was protecting myself. You know, they could say anything and get by. They could say, well, I was protecting myself, when in fact they just wanted to pull that trigger. Because sometimes they pull it more than once, you know. It takes one bullet to knock a man down, not 10, 15, or 20. A good cop, what he would do is just shoot somebody in the leg. Every time he needed to get somebody, he'd shoot them in the leg somewhere to knock them down, but not to kill them. Now that would be a good cop. Unless that person is actually firing at them, that's a different story. But if you get a man that does not have a gun and you have a gun, your bullet can knock him down in his leg. You don't have to shoot him in his heart. You don't have to shoot him in his head. And you don't have to shoot him in his chest. Just shoot him in his leg and stop him from running right there. Johnny on the spot. So you guys, let me know what you think. I'm going to end my commentary about this Los Angeles Police Department with this rapist. His name was William Rodriquez, 33 years old, has been arrested and charged with 2 counts of forcible rape with multiple victims on Tuesday. The police chief, Moore, said they entered the DNA into FBI's DNA index system, and they got a cold case hit from 2013 that linked it to one of their own. One of their own. And I know they're upset about that. Because the LA Police Department has always had a bad rap. I recall going to Hollywood, and it was really bad back then in like the 70s. And people were like, oh, what are you going to Hollywood for? You better be careful. Those cops are going to... And they were right, because when we were driving down the streets, every time I looked up, they had somebody pulled over. They said, you're going to Hollywood? Why are you going to Hollywood? You don't know what you're getting yourself into. Black people, you can't go to Hollywood. Those people, those cops. And they were right. And this was in the 70s, you guys, before I even moved to California. So I thought that stuff was over by now, but it's still going on. Please click like, share, and subscribe. And thank you so much for being my friends. Thank you for listening to me, and thank you for tuning in. I am your host, Josie Latimer, and I'll be coming back with more breaking news. Have a wonderful day. Bye.